Day 9, Fire Academy. All we did all day was put our gear on, take the gear off, and do it all over again. And then a lot of people in our group, I think there's like 39 kids in our group. We all got the PPE, which is just your stuff without your air pack. We got that under a minute fairly quickly. So then we moved to the air pack stuff, and we did air packs all day. Put on your air pack, taking it off, making sure your bleeder valve is closed. Everybody's like trying to make sure their pass alarm doesn't go off, right? Because the pass alarm, if you're not moving for 30 seconds, it goes off in case you're lost in a fire. It starts beeping very loudly so your comrades or other firefighters can come and find you, right? So depending on the air pack you have, there's two common types of air packs that we deal with, Scott or MSA. I have Scott. So Scott people have to shake their hips to let the pack know that they're still alive and moving. So if you don't do that every 30 seconds, your alarm goes off and they get pissed. And MSA, you shake, it's like a little thing right here. You just got to shake this every 30 seconds to make sure that it doesn't go off. So we had a lot of those going off at first, but then again, towards the end, we had a lot of improvement. We got squared away. Me personally, I'm very consistently getting under the 1 minute with my air pack now. Yesterday, the day before, I only got under 1 minute once. I was really struggling, but today, honed it in, created some efficiencies, talked to my other classmates, and they were kind of teaching me tips and tricks, and then I sorted it out myself in my head, got my process down. A lot of people today were actually forgetting to pull up their hood. I forgot to pull up my hood one time because I threw my pack over and I couldn't find the back strap. So I'm like flailing around, and then you try to play catch up. You have to recover. You know what I mean? If you make a mistake, you can recover and still get under the minute. But on this particular in this particular case, on this single round, I thought I was going to recover, but I forgot to put my hood on. He's like, dude, you forgot to put your hood on. So everybody gets all pissed off, you know what I mean? But a bunch of people always forget to put their hoods on in our group for some reason. You can't have any straps showing out of your hood. So your mask has straps, right? Those straps have to go in the hood. So some people would have straps hanging out, and that's an automatic fail. But yeah, and then, so after we got fairly confident as a group, putting our packs on, then we started like taking the pack off with a low profile, because they're going to send us through a maze with all this smoke and we can't see anything, and we have to maneuver through this, right? So sometimes the pack is too big on your back and you have to get really low to the ground, so you have to take your pack off. It's your air device, it's your breathing device, it is keeping you alive, right? So we had to practice taking it off while we're laying down, bringing it out into the front of us, and then sliding it forward as we crawl forward. Then we had to put it back on as we're on the ground with a low profile. So that posed difficult for some people, putting it back on. There's a very specific way you have to do it. You have to kind of so you have to unpack it in front of you. Not unpack it, like you leave the bottle in, but you set the straps out, then you put your left arm through, you put your back on the back plate, and you roll into it. And some people have a difficulty, like if you don't have good shoulder mobility, or your straps are really short, some people have difficulty reaching for the strap to get it over. So that was a big problem for a lot of people, and I didn't even realize at the beginning, before I knew what I was doing, before I knew that specific tip and trick, I was exhausting myself, just breathing a ridiculous amount of air, trying to sort this situation out. How do I get this pack on? And I saw a lot of other people struggling as well. Then some of the instructors started going around like, hey, this is the best way to do it. So I learned how to do this method by watching the instructor teach somebody else. I was like, oh, that's great. So I did it, and I did it once, and I was like, oh, that's like so much better, so much less energy and effort than what I was doing before. So then I taught Brian, who was sitting next to me, the same method. And yeah, it conserves a lot of air, a lot of energy. I mean, you're hot, you know what I mean? You're wearing a ton of gear. It's a little bit chilly out right now. It's March, so once it gets into the hotter seasons or the hotter summer, I would be gassed out if I didn't know that method. So that was super cool and super important. But yeah, then again, we did that all day. We ran out of air at one point, and there's 30, let's say 40 people. Let's say 39 for easy math. 39 people in our class. You can fill 3 bottles at a time, right? Some people have 2 bottles. So you're looking at, I don't know, 13 to 26 evolutions of filling a bottle at the machine. So it took like an hour and 15 minutes for everybody to fill their bottles after we were off of air. Because we practiced on air for a little bit, sometimes off air. But when we were practicing on air, everybody's bottles were out. So we had to go fill it up. And that takes a long time, you know. So the instructor got on us about, hey, you got to come to class with a full bottle. At the end of the day, fill up your bottle. In the morning, fill up your bottle. At lunch, sometimes you're going to have to fill up your bottle. So having a full bottle is always on you because it's stopping us from kind of moving forward and doing other things, which totally understand. I didn't put together that it was going to take an hour and 15 minutes. So that was an awakening for our entire group today. But yeah, lots of putting on, putting off, getting comfortable with the mask, breathing on the air, all good stuff. Tomorrow, we're in for a class day. We have a quiz on 2 chapters. So I'll tell you about that video tomorrow. Have a good night.